Hello and welcome back to AdvancePath. My name is Melissa and I am the College and Career Coordinator here at Graduation Alliance in our Career Services Department. In our session today, we are going to go over how to create your resume within AdvancePath. If you have not created an AdvancePath account yet, you can go ahead and watch the video on how to create and log into AdvancePath. Now, once you are in AdvancePath, these are all of the different sections up here that you can access. The resume builder is going to be located in accomplishments. So you can go ahead and click on that. As you can see, I've already started to add a few items in here. But basically what you want to do is go through each of these tabs, and we're going to start at the top and work our way down. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on resume, some items to just make sure that you already have imported in. You want to make sure that your address and your phone number and your email address are all correct. Now, when it comes to your email address, you do want to make sure that you have a professional email address, preferably with your first and last name listed, so that employers know who you are, especially when they're emailing you and when they're receiving emails back, and it just looks a lot more professional. If you need to make any changes or add anything, you can click on these edit buttons over here on the right hand side. So if I go ahead and click on that, it's going to direct me to your profile information, which is going to have your communication preferences as well as your email address. The About Me is going to have your address. And so this is where you can go into edit or add any of this information. Now for your phone number, it actually gets tied to the SMS settings. So you're going to want to get your phone number added here so that it will be reflected in the resume. So we'll go ahead and go back over to the resume. So once you get all of that updated and you have everything looking correct as far as your email address, your address, and phone number, we are going to go ahead and start from the top and work our way down in all of these tabs to see if there's anything that you can add. Now at Graduation Alliance, you may have actually taken some classes that you could put on your resume, and this can be really helpful if perhaps you've never held a job before and this may be your first job ever that you're going to get, and you don't want your resume to look completely blank with just your contact information. As well as an opportunity to show some of the skill sets that you've learned here at Graduation Alliance. So as an example, some of the classes that you may have taken with us could be the caregiver classes, OSHA 10, career development, financial math, digital literacy, and any of the career pathway courses. If you are unsure about any of the classes that you've taken and if it's appropriate to put it in this area, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to visit with you, look it up, see the dates on, in which you took those particular classes. So what you'll do is you're going to click that Add New button, and then this pop-up will come up. If you're adding any of the classes, such as career development, financial math, digital literacy, you can put them under academics, and you can actually just start typing in. So if we want to do, for instance, like digital literacy, it will allow you to actually type it in, even though it's not an option in the drop-down. You can just type in the name of the class. You want to put the date awarded, and then the description. So remembering what you learned in that class, you could probably also look up the course description to have a refresher on what exactly you did learn in the course, and then add the description there. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel. So I'm going to go back into the Add New. If you actually earned a certificate, so caregiver, OSHA 10, any of those classes, you can actually choose certification. You can type in caregiver, OSHA 10, whichever course that may be, and then the same steps, date awarded, and then the description of the class. So you can add whichever classes you've taken with us that you think are appropriate to put here. You can go ahead and add all of those. Once you are done in the achievements area, and before we move on, make sure you take a look at all of these other options that are listed here in case they do apply to you. So this is also a great opportunity to add in some of the other achievements that you may have accomplished throughout your life. The next area is going to be activities, set up the same way as achievement. So you're going to go ahead and click Add New. You can search the different categories, see if any of these apply to you. The same thing with the activity name. You can type it in manually if you want to, or if you choose any of these. So let's just say hobbies. If you are into drawing or painting, photography, reading, so any of those. And sometimes it's helpful just to go through all of these and just be able to see what different options there are to kind of help you remember what maybe you have done in the past or what your interests are. So lots of different items you can add there. And then once you get down to education, you actually don't want to change anything on this tab since you've registered in AdvancePath as a Graduation Alliance student. But once you download the resume, you can always come into the actual document and change the school name if you want to. So we're going to bypass education, nothing to add there. If you have any employment, past employment, current employment, this is where you're going to go ahead and add it all. So pretty straightforward: company name, position, job responsibilities, start date, end date, or if it's somewhere that you're presently working. I do recommend adding anything along the lines of a bullet point, asterisk, to help make it a list when you are putting your job responsibilities. A list form is going to help employers be able to get through your resume a lot faster, see everything and highlight everything that you want to. So I definitely recommend minimizing any paragraphs and making everything in a list form if possible. So once you have added everything in employment that applies, even volunteer, if you've volunteered, I would recommend putting it right here in the employment area, and you can just indicate that it was a volunteer opportunity. GPA and test scores, you don't have to, but if you would like to have this added to your resume, you can go ahead and see everything that you can put in here. Not necessary, so you don't have to stress about it either. For personal references, I'd recommend just leaving it blank unless an employer asks for references, then you can provide them, but I wouldn't say you have to have it on the resume itself. But if you would like to have it on there, that is your preference, totally fine. You can just go ahead and click Add New and fill in the information. Once you've completed each of these tabs, your resume should be done. And then once again, you can click there on the resume and be able to see everything, look it over. There's all of the edit buttons on the right-hand side. So if you see a spelling mistake, anything along those lines, you can quickly just click on the edit button to be able to go right in there and fix whatever needs to be fixed. So look it over. If you want me to look it over, feel free to reach out. I can access your resume with an AdvancePath and look this over for you. Once it looks good to you, you can go ahead and click on that download button, and it will download your resume, and then you can save it to your desktop. So if you are on Indeed searching for a job, you can upload the resume. If you need to print it out to provide to a resume, that will work as well. So once you download it, you can then go in, and if you wanted to change your school under education, and if you wanted to add your expected graduation date or when you did graduate, if you've already graduated, you can just go ahead and make those changes and adjustments on this document itself. And then once it looks perfect to you and you think that it is as good as it's going to get, go ahead and save it to your desktop, and I would say your resume is done and you are ready to start applying for jobs. If you have any questions, if you'd like me to look it over, if you want to reach out to me because you are looking for a job and want some assistance now that your resume is completed, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to visit with you further and see if any of our employer partners would be a good fit for you. You can see all of my contact information if you click on the home button. And then down here, you can reach out to me in any of these forms, and I'd be happy to visit further with you. I hope this was helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.